rocking with pettyblog.com.
I can't be on the petty blog.
Petty. I wonder what pet tea means. Like, does she have a pet that she really likes? Petty and tea. I was so dumb.
So they already know that I'm dropping the tea. So let's get into this story verbatim. But first, I just want to let y'all know that in order to keep this video friendly, I will be replacing certain words with all due respect, okay? So if you hear me saying the wrong word, then you know why. Now let's go. A New Jersey mother has been found guilty of offing and dismembering her son, who she had reported as being abducted. Oh, and real quick, just to let y'all know, this did happen almost 4 years ago in February of 2019, but she just got convicted a few days ago. But I digress. According to Law and Crime, a Cumberland County jury found Nakira Griner guilty of the offing and dismemberment of her 23-month-old son, Daniel Griner Jr. The crime took place in 2019. She was convicted of all charges filed against her: first degree, second degree desecration of human remains, second degree endangering the welfare of a child, fourth degree tampering with evidence, and second degree false public alarm. CBS News reported that in February 2019, police officials stated that Griner told them that she was attacked on the street and her son had been abducted. The police looked for the boy, but ended up discovering his burnt remains the next day in Griner's yard.
Burying his burnt remains inside a pink pocketbook beneath a shed outside her home.
An autopsy determined that he had been beaten to death. Shaking my damn head. As part of the deliberations, the jury also found the child victim was less than 14 years of age, an aggravating factor that would require the defendant face a sentence of mandatory life imprisonment without eligibility for parole, prosecutors stated. Prosecutors also said that Griner then told police officers that Daniel accidentally fell down a flight of stairs. But in phone calls she made while in jail, she admitted that she did what she did to him to cover up the bruising that appeared on his body. Griner eventually revealed to police officers that she did hit her son because he wouldn't eat nor listen to her. Wow. She confessed that she hit Daniel so hard that she left bruises on his face, and she admitted that he also fell down a flight of stairs. During the trial, Griner's attorney Jill Cohen stated that her client dismembered and burned his body, but said that prosecutors couldn't prove that she was directly responsible for his death. And based on that theory, Griner could only be convicted of manslaughter. Cohen stated that there are plans to appeal the verdict. Man, these lawyers just be saying anything and defending anyone. They don't have no morals. That's crazy. But yeah, so her sentencing is scheduled for February 21, which will be 4 years and 3 weeks after the passing of her son. But yeah, so now let's go into this other article that has way more details of what this mother did to her not even 2-year-old son, okay?
A missing child case is now a murder investigation, with the mother of that toddler under arrest.
It says when police officers investigating the alleged abduction of a 23-month-old boy arrived at the family's house on a frigid February night in 2019, they thought it was odd that the windows were open and fans were running, according to a prosecutor. Then they smelled a burning odor. Hours later, they would find the dismembered and burned remains of the child in the backyard of the property. Nearly 4 years after Bridgeton mother Nakira Griner's arrest on charges that she K'd Daniel Griner Jr., then claimed that he had been kidnapped, her trial began Monday with opening arguments from the prosecution and defense. Griner, 28, is charged with first degree, you know what, along with several other counts. The prosecution alleges Griner abused the child and ultimately offed him, while the defense denies the mother intentionally caused his passing and said the state rushed to judgment in charging her with the M-word. Griner called 911 on the evening of February 8, 2019 to report that Daniel had been abducted while she was walking to a store in Bridgeton with Daniel in a stroller and her infant son strapped to her chest. She claimed two assailants knocked her to the ground, and then when she looked up, Daniel and the stroller were gone. Police found the stroller empty on a nearby street. Hours later, she changed her story, police said, telling them that Daniel had accidentally fallen down a flight of stairs in the family's home and that she had left the injured child alive and alone in a stroller on the street in hopes that someone would find and help him. Griner claimed she feared being blamed for his injuries, according to investigators. She also admitted that she struck the child after he refused to eat his breakfast and that she struck him hard enough to leave bruises on his face. Early the next day, police found the child's burned and dismembered remains stuffed in a handbag belonging to Griner and in trash bags under a shed in the rear yard of the family's property. An autopsy found Daniel died of blunt force trauma and that he suffered multiple bone fractures. The death was ruled a homicide. In addition to murder, Griner is charged with disturbing or desecrating human remains, tampering with evidence, endangering the welfare of a child, and false public alarm. Griner's initial story quickly fell apart as a review of surveillance video showed her pushing what appeared to be an empty stroller toward the area where the stroller was found by police. That's crazy. Wow. Parvin, the assistant prosecutor, cautioned that some of the evidence jurors will see could be difficult to view, but stressed that what will be shown is necessary for the state to prove its case. An autopsy determined the remains were exposed to extensive thermal heat damage, and a forensic anthropologist was called in to conduct a trauma analysis of multiple injuries that were documented on the child's body, the prosecutor said. That included determining whether some of the damage to the body occurred prior to his passing, around the time of his passing, or after his passing. And this is past tense, y'all. So the jury heard testimony from police officers and detectives who handled the case, a medical examiner and forensic anthropologist who examined the boy's remains, and seen phone records and heard recorded calls that Griner made from jail as part of the case. I believe after you hear all of this testimony that we present to you that you will be able to find Nakira Griner guilty of all of these crimes charged against her. Her attorney, Jill Cohen, conceded that her client was guilty of burning and disposing of the child's remains and lying to the police about the abduction, but said the state has no credible evidence for the murder charge. I mean, that's enough to know that she did it. Like, come on. That attorney is determined, huh? Griner sat quietly as the attorneys made their cases Monday, showing no obvious signs of emotion as the gruesome details were discussed. You may not like what she did, Cohen said of her client. I don't think nobody would. And you may not like her, but obviously that's not the issue in this case. You're supposed to put all your emotions, all your biases away when you go into that jury room at the end and deliberate. Griner's previous attorney described the child's death as an accident and argued the mother suffered from postpartum psychosis, a severe form of postpartum depression. Mental health issues were not discussed during Monday's opening remarks. The case has been dogged by delays since her arrest, including the coronavirus pandemic, which caused the judiciary to suspend criminal jury trials from March of 2020 through June of 2021. Cohen argued over the summer that Griner should be released pending trial because she had been detained beyond a 2-year limit set for jail defendants awaiting trial under state criminal justice reform measures enacted in 2017. Superior Court Judge George H. Gangloff Jr. rejected that motion based on his calculation of her release date, which included exceptions caused by the pandemic and case delays attributable to the defense. Wow, I'm just speechless for real, because it's like you bring these kids into this world that they didn't ask to be in, and then for some minuscule reason you turn around and take them out. It's so crazy. And then to blame postpartum on it is wild. Now don't get me wrong, we all know that postpartum exists and it's very real as millions and millions of mothers fight through it each day, but I think that there is a difference between postpartum and pure evil. I don't know, I may be wrong, right? But do y'all think that what this mother did, you know, getting mad that her child didn't want to eat and then beating him to death and then dismembering his body and then walking his empty stroller down the street to make it look like an abduction, having the town go crazy looking for him, you know, Amber Alerts and all that, knowing that she burned him and buried parts of his remains in her backyard and some of it in a purse, and then instead of taking a plea deal for 30 years, knowing that she did it, she took it to trial and risked facing life. I mean, which she does deserve, and then showing no remorse in court. Like really? Like really, were her actions postpartum, or is she just an evil narcissist? We want to know your exact thoughts, so leave them below, and don't forget to like this video, share this content, and if it's your first time here, be sure to sub to this channel for more. And be sure to also hit that bell to join the notification gang. PetsyBlog.com signing out.